What's up, everybody? Welcome back to our channel for collectors. And it's an exciting day. We're going to do another card room tour. This time, we're going to tour somebody's room that isn't actually a content creator on YouTube. They're actually a watcher and a commenter. The channel's name is WarrenD73. And he reached out to me and said, hey, I'd love to come on the card room tour. And that's what we're going to do next. It's going to be a lot of fun. And I want to just let you know, if you're also just a watcher out there and you want to do this, reach out to us. Our email address is in our info. So without further ado, let's hit the intro and then we'll talk to Warren.
Welcome to For Collectors.
Hey, Warren, how you doing?
Good, Theo. How you doing, bud?
Good.
This is exciting. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, it is really exciting. So tell us a little bit about what kind of fan you are, what's your favorite teams to root for, and everything like that before we start.
Well, I'm a big Cleveland Indians fan. Have been most of my life, and then I focus on like certain teams, like the 1960 Pirates, a little bit of the 76 Reds. I don't have a lot of that stuff, but mostly Indians. I've really changed my focus up. I just have way so much stuff. I had to start narrowing it down just a little bit.
That's cool.
But, my hobby journey just basically like everybody else. Back in the early '80s, or mid '80s, did a bunch of stuff with my dad, my stepdad, and we did card shows, and we were dealers for a while, and then I got married and then got out of cards for a long time because I'm like, man, this stuff sits junk wax era. Even though we call it junk wax, it's not junk to me. I love it all.
Yeah, cool.
I understand it's not worth much, but it's still, some of those guys are still my heroes and all that stuff. But and then I love Clemente. He's a hero. I've read all the books. I've seen all the documentaries on him. He's just one of the finest people I've ever got to know via books and history in itself. So I like oddball stuff. I like error cards. I like stuff that not a lot of people like. I love the little box sets from the 80s, the early 90s. I love that stuff, man. It's just fun. I think the cards are nice too, and better card stock too, and a lot of them. But
yeah, so when did you get back in the hobby full bore again?
Well, there you go. And basically, like after once the pandemic started, I'm like, man, because I was out of work because I was a chef for 27 years. So they closed all the restaurants. I'm like, I don't know what's going to happen. So I started unloading cards like crazy.
Really?
I mean, I got rid of Jeters and David Ortiz. I mean, all kinds of rookies, vintage rookies. I mean, just so much stuff. And then, things changed. I'm like, man, I wish I had it all back then.
What's the biggest thing you sold that you wish you had back? I guess if you could pick one thing.
I had a 93 SP Jeter gold foil. And then I had a 96 refractor, Derek Jeter refractor embossed. That was crazy. I sold some Clementes.
Oh man.
Yeah. Sold some Ted Williams cards. I had I'm a big Ted Williams guy too. Because I was a big hitter when I played baseball. And I just love hitting, and I love Ted Williams, so I just love the player he was. So
that's awesome. So how long have you been watching baseball card collecting videos on YouTube?
I didn't even know they existed until 2020. I wasn't a big YouTube guy at all. Yeah. And then I'm finding all these guys, and name them. I've listened to them or watched them, and then I fine tune that too. Okay, man, I can't sit on TV or a phone all day.
Yeah.
So I find people that have similar interests, and those are the ones I tend to go to.
Nice.
And,
so let's give somebody a quick shout out. who are some of your favorite people to watch? Who do you think's doing a good job on the YouTube?
You know, I like well, all you guys, of course. You know, I like Junk Wax Hero, Mike. I
Nice.
like Mike Moynihan, a big fan. John Newman, Danny Black, you know, those guys. Um, Chris from Missouri. I enjoy his content. He's a really cool dude.
Yeah, he is.
And I'm looking forward to the national because I'm in the Cleveland area and I live basically 15 minutes away from the venue.
Awesome.
So I was at the last one here in Cleveland in 2018, I think it was. And I'm looking forward to meet you guys and get to know. And who knows, maybe I'll do a channel of my own. And I kind of have an idea for it and how I want to go about it. But so the content creation thing's starting to creep into me a little bit. I'm like, hey, I maybe do this too and try,
Hey,
who knows?
Yeah, you can't. It's never going to be perfect. You got to start somewhere and then put in some time, and you get a little bit better at it. But we're just out here to have a good time. That's all.
Hey, and that's why I enjoy it, man. I see the passion. I see what you guys do and how you listen to how you collect and other folks as well. And then when I saw these card rooms, I said, I want somebody to see my card room. And because I love being down here. This is my escape. This is my wife helped me with this.
Awesome.
She's well, if it wasn't for her, I'd be she has a lot of patience. Sorry about that. I'm a little jumpy today.
That's all right. We're gonna get to let's start showing your room off, and we could talk along the way here. So I'm gonna give you full screen here.
All right, let me switch up the camera here. We're gonna go there. We're gonna go to back. There we go. All right, guys. I'll try to go slow. We'll start over here. This is a big focal point for my collection. This is Negro League All-Stars. I'm trying to hold this steady. There we go. So, basically they're all Hall of Famers. I mean, I'll go slow here. I know there's glare. There's, Ray Dandridge, Buck Leonard, Pop Lloyd, those Luke Easter, Rube Foster. It's a big focal point. And then what I'm trying to do with this piece is get at least one autograph from each guy that's on here that I can afford. That's realistic. I have a few. I have Buck Leonard, Ray Dandridge, Cool Papa Bell, which I have a really cool piece I'm going to show you guys here in a little bit. But that's a big focus. You can see if I do a slow panorama here, I don't have a lot of space left on walls, and I try to keep everything in this room as much as possible.
Yeah. Yeah. It looks
But
good.
I'm a big Will Clark guy, so you're going to see a lot of Will Clark stuff. Autographed Sports Illustrated right there.
That's cool. Will Clark, I'll be honest with you. I grew up in the 90s, and I didn't start watching baseball until 95. When was Will Clark's big seasons?
He started right off the bat. I mean, 87, 88.
Okay.
Yeah.
I don't know much about him, to be honest with you. Was he one of the best players?
Oh yeah, he is my guy. Will the Thrill. I loved watching him hit the swing. He had a swagger to him, and he didn't put up with anything from anybody. So, but like I said, I narrowed down my thing. But now I have tons of autograph Hall of Famers. There's a really nice SP Griffey Jr.
Nice.
Frank Robinson. Now that's a neat set I never knew existed. It's a Nabisco.
Yeah, I have the Duke Snyder.
Yeah,
That's pretty cool.
There's Bob Gibson. There's the Duke, and of course, being a '90s kid, here's a Will Clark Elite. It's in the 8, but I don't care.
Nice.
More autographs, and then my dad's favorite player is Eddie Matthews. So there's Eddie Matthews ball. There's a 53 Bowman color, random 66 Roger Maris. That was the first card my dad ever gave me. Was that 66 Maris?
That's awesome. You still have it.
Yeah. Oh yeah. I got a Mazeroski too, because like I said, I Mazeroski, famous home runs. I do all that stuff. I am one of the most eclectic guys, and I have big FOMO too sometimes. And there's Here's World Series tickets from Game 5. Will Clark hit a famous home run on that one. Just oddball stuff here and there. So my collection focuses mainly on now is 95 Indians, 97, 1948 World Series, and 54. And I'm going to turn around here real quick. Here's a really nice felt pennant from 54 American League champs. So you got Dobie there in the center. Just neat stuff.
Cool. That's cool. I see Lemon on there. That's
awesome. Bob Lemon. Feller's on here too.
Nice.
Pretty neat. It's a neat piece. It's nice framed. There's a Beckett signed by Will Clark.
How many times have you met him, or haven't you met him?
I met him one time when he was with the Texas Rangers. I got tickets for my birthday, and I got to sit on the first base dugout side, and got to meet him, shake his hand.
That's
and
cool.
We just got to meet him. I don't need an autograph and all that stuff. I have plenty of Will Clark autographs now. So that's as I mentioned, like the 60 Pirates, but that's more from the Battling Bucks. It's a vinyl album, just a cool piece, and it's got Clemente right there.
I haven't seen that. I've never seen that.
I never did either, and I saw it. And what I like to do is I like to I'm an early riser. Yeah. So I go on eBay and look for auctions that are ending, and some of the stuff, I can't believe what I found. That folks ending auctions at 5 o'clock, 6 o'clock in the morning on a Friday or Saturday. It's like, wow.
Wow.
So there's a 97 World Series towel. Nice. And I got ball, tchotchke things like the plates and stuff like that. I love this. Beat the Yankees hanky night.
I remember Hills. I think Hills was in the Ohio, Pennsylvania kind of area. I don't think it was United States all the way, was it? Northeast part. Yeah, that's pretty cool.
But yeah, like I said, it's a very unique collection. There's a George Brett. I got that ball from George Brett. I worked in a restaurant back when he was still playing here in the Cleveland area, and I got to go pick him up from the airport.
What?
Yeah,
that's crazy.
And he signed the ball and gave it to me. Appreciate it. He was cool as hell. And then I got Lou Boudreau Hall of Famer. I try to get as many Hall of Famers as I can. Like there's a Dobie autograph that's got Raleigh fingers there on the bottom. You can't see the auto real well, but it's right there. And that's signed by Steve Garvey. He's not a Hall of Famer, but I always liked him.
Nice.
All right, so we'll pan. I'm sure you know what that is there.
Yeah, they gave those not gave them away. They had them at gas stations actually.
Yeah. I think it's Sunoco. I forget, but
I believe so.
Another great Clemente piece here. I know it's dark over here, guys. I'm sorry, but so that's just basically a schedule with paraphernalia that was sent out to to get all three of them together though is really hard to find, especially schedule in that good condition from '73. And that was sent out to season ticket holders.
Yeah, that's really cool. Al actually gave me the pocket schedule, but I don't have all the others, everything else to go with it. But yeah, that was I believe that was given out. Yeah, that was given out in '73. So Clemente was dead at that time. Yeah, and we're gonna see a couple more '73 items because I was born in '73, so Clemente '73 is kind of big for me. Nice. There's a nice rack pack with Will Clark rookie on it. Oh, that's cool. Yeah, and I do starting lineups, and I love everything that has Chief Wahoo on it. I got that one for $5. It's like I'll take it. You're not happy about the team name change then? No, I'm not. Yeah, but it is what it is. There's a nice Buck Leonard auto right there. That's cool. Really cool. Golden Age of Baseball with the Ted on it. Another unique piece. It's a toothbrush holder baseball bat, but still, it's trying to find one of those is impossible almost. Wow. So, yeah. All right.
we're getting over to another big part of my collection here. Just more oddball. I like the plaques, but see, I'll change out the cards when I can. Like, I love Dennis Martinez when he was here. There's a signed rookie right there.
Nice.
And then that's the Leaf Signature Series one right there. Just good stuff.
Yeah.
So
One
I'll try to.
One of my favorite Indians, was on the Pirates for a while, Kenny Lofton. I really liked watching him.
Oh, yeah. Love Lofton. I think he should be in the Hall of Fame at some point. I think he'll get voted in because he had pretty good WAR, really good stats, stole a lot of bases.
Yeah.
So I'm going to talk to you about this frame. So this was my COVID project. So those ticket stubs and those programs are the games that I actually went to for the 95 World Series.
Oh, wow.
All the players in here, every card's autographed by them in their Indians uniform if they existed. Except for a couple I couldn't find, like Eddie Murray. I could not find an Eddie Murray baseball card that was autoed. I know it sounds weird, but I couldn't.
Huh.
And then Dave Winfield, but I tried to find stuff that was unique, like that's got a bat and a jersey in it. And then you'll see there's Omar. I mean, and everybody on here is on this bat.
Wow. How'd you get the bat?
I found that in some small antique shop in middle of nowhere, South Carolina, because that's where I'm originally from. And I still have some family down there.
Wow.
But it's cool because it's numbered it's a little blurry. 1995.
Yeah.
So the only one that Ruben Amaro, he does not have an Indians card, but I found an Angels card from. It was cheap, and I didn't want the space to go empty. Yeah, there's Lofton.
That's awesome. Did you?
Yeah, switched out, but
you ever talk to Scott over at Reindeer Studios? He has a lot of Indians autographs.
No, I haven't really, but maybe I have to hook up with him. There's a cool one there. Manny Ramirez is really hard to find because Manny was goofy, as we all know, but he liked to sign right-handed, left-handed, upside down. He was just unique. But so that was my big project, putting all those cards together.
That's such a unique and cool thing. Like I love that you did that.
Yeah, and it was fun to put together a challenge. And like I said, a few of the cards are going to get replaced because I've updated them and gotten nicer ones. But go from there, and then we'll pin up here. See, like I said, I do, and then I started focus on, like I said, Indians, but I focus on All-Star games, World Series. I got some 81 All-Star game stuff that was a big part. This Travis Hafner auto, really cool. Leaf, Bob Feller with the stamp on there, just cool card. Nolan Ryan, I love Nolan Ryan as well. That was a big thing for me and my stepdad. Really hard, really nice Pittsburgh Pirates button 1960 World Championship. Finding it with that brass bat and ball is very hard.
Yeah, I've never actually seen that.
That's a cool piece.
It is. I see your Maz cards are back there.
Yep, Maz. I don't have a rookie yet. I'm working on it.
I got one for my birthday last year, so
73.
Yeah,
Clemente.
Such a great card.
It is. And then my father-in-law, God rest his soul, he got me that years ago. Just a frame numbered Clemente stamp.
That's cool. What's that Clemente piece back there with the yellow around it? I don't think I've seen that one.
This one here?
It says Pirates. Yeah, what's that?
That's a media guide.
Oh.
Trying to find one of those in really good shape because, oh boy, I don't have to tell you how much it was. 3 figures I paid for that thing.
Jeez.
Because they were beat up because they were used by the press.
Uh-huh.
And yeah, it's just a really cool piece. And then this is one of my favorite Clemente pieces. So that's a spring training from 73 program. I love the artwork. I love the color.
That is cool.
Just a great, great piece. Let's see. Here's a '97 All-Star Game baseball. It's actually signed by Jarrett Wright. He was an Indian. He was a hot rookie at that time. There's a great, that's star power right there. And that's in a 5. I think it's a pretty sharp looking 5 if you ask me. But
yeah, that's really nice. I love how Hank's on that card.
now I don't do a lot of Mantle, but I just love that magazine. I love the picture of the Mick. He's doing his thing. And I got oddball stuff. And then you said you noticed this piece when I was sent you pictures.
Yeah.
Go ahead. I'm sorry.
Yeah, I mean, obviously that's the Daily Juice uncut part of an uncut sheet. I've seen a couple of those, but they don't come up very often.
No, and when I saw it, I jumped on it. I actually bought it at the Strongsville show. Strongsville is one of the oldest and largest all vintage shows in America. A lot of guys have talked about it that do these kind of things, YouTube videos.
Yeah.
I found it and I'm like, I have to have it. I gotta have it.
Yeah.
I said, I know it's not a full sheet, but it's just a beautiful image of Roberto and just a great piece. And
it's one of my favorite pictures of him. I agree. Do you know there's a variation? It's it'll say Harmony Dairy on the back instead of Daily Juice.
No, I did not.
Yeah,
that's good.
They're very hard to. They're very rare. They're not that common. So.
And these are just oddball. My son's girlfriend went to a flea market, and this guy had a bunch of stuff on the table with Chief Wahoo and all that, and she offered him $50 for the whole table, and he gave it to her. So I love that bag. I take that to every card show.
That's cool.
Just some cool Ted Williams stuff. Old advertising poster from the Ted Williams Card Company. I have nowhere to put stuff, so I just put stuff random. That's every single Topps traded set up to 1993. I am missing the Cal Ripken because I graded it, and it graded so high I sold it.
Oh wow!
So I was able to pay off some, put money toward credit card debt and all that kind of stuff, and I'm trying to get all that down.
Yeah.
And I mean, I like food issues. The Kellogg's, the Kellogg's stuff. There's small Cracker Jack cards. Trying to find those are a little crazy. I mean, they're out there. Nothing's impossible to find. Then more Chief Wahoo glassware. Lou Boudreau anniversary glasses. Just some random stuff. Another favorite piece of mine. Never seen one of these whole. So these were like in McDonald's or Burger King's, but to get the whole display with the balls still sealed and everything's intact, I was like, sweet. Had to have that.
That's cool. I've never seen that before.
Yeah, I like, and I forgot to pull out one piece. It's actually when you went into McDonald's early back in the 90s, they would have those translite signs where the menus would be. I have a huge one, 24 by 24 Jim Tomey.
Wow.
And it's cool. Pretty neat. Then more random glassware. There's more Indian stuff, and those are really cool. Those are from the 70s.
Yeah, that's really cool.
And I mean, there's my room. Here's a great piece right here. I know you know that. So that's an arena card.
Nice.
And basically, if anybody can recognize that picture is basically taken, I think it's 71 All-Star Game in Houston.
I believe you're right. I got one this year at the National, but I think yours is in better shape than mine. I like how you framed it.
Yeah, I like to walk in and see that piece. That's a pretty cool piece up there. I know it's kind of hard to see. I can get closer to it, but those are passed around like in the 20s and 30s around the stands, and you would pay a penny and punch out, and whatever you got, that was your prize, whether it be a hot dog, if you got a home run, you got like a popcorn hot dog, you name it. It's just a cool piece. I've had that around. And when we talk about some of the more expensive things I sold off, I had an all grounds pass for it was to every single game of the American League. It was for a guy here in Cleveland. And those are so rare and so hard to find. And this was immaculately clean. So that one, that was a pretty, I didn't want to let that one go, but guy offered, good money. So I had to do it. So a few other things I could show you if you want here. Like I said, this is pretty much my room. Like I said, I do the 48. So here's a really nice ticket stub to the 48 World Series. And you can see that says Game 5. Do you know why Game 5 is so important in the World Series for that year?
No.
That was the first and only time that Satchel Paige pitched in the World Series, so it made him the first black player to pitch in a World Series.
Oh my gosh. How much money were they charging for that ticket, does it say?
$6.25, I think it says right there.
Oh, okay. That's a really cool piece of history there. Wow.
It is. And then I got one for Game 4 as well. It's upside down, of course, but that's all right.
That's cool. That must have been a good seat for $6. You would have thought it would have been like 10 cents.
Oh yeah, no, it was a good seat. Yeah, there's different colors and different shades. I think there's like a gold variation. 48 World Series programs. Like I said, I like to collect oddball stuff. Here's a mail day item here that came in. Do you know that? 1990 score McDonald's.
I think I've seen them before, but were those just regional or how they?
Super hard to find. There's a lot of like stories about where they were truly shown and where they came from, but they tend to be quite pricey, especially graded.
Huh.
But that's just a cool piece. I mean, that's pretty much it, man. I got newspapers. Sorry. These are all plain dealers. It's a big. So here's from 1954.
That's cool.
And I got them all, man. Well, they're not a complete run. More 54, 1948. So these are a little yellow and beat up. They've been sitting around for a long time. They're in these sealed bags now. They're protected a little bit better. But just great pieces.
Yeah.
I love them all. World Series tickets to 97.
I love how eclectic your collection is. Like you don't you do it all. You do programs, you do tickets, you do newspapers, you obviously do cards. Like I can I'm starting to look into some tickets now, but I've never bought any tickets or anything like that before.
Oh yeah, I have significant Will Clark ones that where they did crazy stuff. Here's a nice. I'll do it this way. There's a nice 51 Derby. So, and then this was what that picture is based on. So these are 1949 team cards. I'll show you the cover.
Yeah,
it's just a neat piece right here. But
that's
where all these are. I'm sorry.
That's the original.
Yeah, these are all original ones. These are just like action photos, but they're not like type 1 photos.
Okay.
But they're based on, but they're all really nice condition. There's another, that's a different year. That's 50, I think, but.
That's awesome.
Yeah. And I have the complete Indians team set from 91. These are all the Desert Shield. I know it's hard to see in here, guys. I'm sorry. But they're all legit. They're all real. I've done enough research. I own quite a few Desert Shield cards. They're fun. Here's more Ted Williams. I want to show cool pieces that you may not see. Here's a Ted Williams fishing reel.
That's funny.
It's immaculate because a lot of folks that know Ted, he was a big fisherman.
Yeah. And
this thing was beautiful. So that other piece I told you guys about earlier, this is what I bought at 5:00 in the morning on a Friday. We got six Hall of Famers on here.
Can you
So
can you
go
tell
ahead.
us who they are?
Yeah, so you got Lloyd Wayner, Bob Feller, so obviously Indian. Earl Averill was an early Indians. Charlie Garinger, Bill Dickey, and then the other reason I bought this piece too, because like I said, with the Negro League All Star poster, there's James Papa Bell. So you got 6 Hall of Famers on one, and it's PSA DNA. I love that piece. It's cool.
That's cool.
Just unique. So I mean, we could be here for hours. Because I could talk cards all day, but I know we can't do that.
Yeah, I think we gave everybody a good picture of what you got in your room and what kind of collector you are, Warren. I appreciate you taking time out today to do this.
No, it's great, man. I appreciate the opportunity, and I'd like to, we'll touch base some more and see what we can make happen, and
Yeah.
Just go there. So I mean,
all right. Well, Warren, stick around. I'm going to talk to you when we're done here, but hopefully I'm going to be at Strongsville and the National, so hopefully we'll see you there, and maybe you'll have your own channel before then. So
hey, you never know. See what happens.
All
right. Thanks for Thank you.
I want to thank everybody for watching this episode on 4 Collectors, and we'll see you on the next episode.